What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 20, I want to say 2 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Drazhoath the Ashen Old World campaign. So as we saw last time, Azgorh the Exiled has been gathering trinkets at Drazhoath's pleasure, and has acquired for us the trinket of Grimnir, the Slayer for Chaos thing, whatever it was. And we have given it to Kurf Damatash, because he's kind of leading our Slayer, our Zealot Berserker army. The Golden Band of Grimnir was the name of the item. Anyway, I do still find it very amusing that we have Azgorh gathering trinkets for Drazh, and he will continue to do so to some degree, but will also probably stay in this general area for the end of the campaign. I mean, it would be a long time traveling to the mountains. We'll see if he has time for it. Anyway, either way, we're in a new turn, and I think we have a lot of at least moves to make with our armies, though I'm not so sure about the buildings and all that, because I already did that between the episodes. Anyway, Azgorh, because we have you in our faces here, we'll start here, and we will besiege Zomoski. I see there's a, yeah. Oh, okay, that's barely an army. Well, besiege Zomoski. We'll see if these guys are willing to sally out, but I'd also like to... Oh, wow. You can't even build it. Well, I guess you don't really need the battering ram, so I don't know why I'm bothering. Yeah, don't bother with the siege equipment. It's not like we need it with the Bull Centaur renders there. I suppose what we could also do is just replace the Hobgob Sneaky Gets slowly but surely with more Bull Centaur Toraks. They don't really add too much to the sort of battle capability, isn't that they kill things, or at least they kill mobs, too slowly. But, you know, more to lead the various Bull Centaur renders. Certainly a possibility. Anyway. We'll besiege this. We don't want to destroy this faction because for now they have value in the sense that we're trying to get another unit of change bringers for our Kadai and Tzeentch army. I also like how these guys are kind of similar. The Flamers and the Kadai Fireborn, at least, so yeah, they're going in one army. But anyway, we need more legions from Mr. Kairos. Drazh, you are continuing on your way to the next relics and passing through these mountains, and Nabua, you're kind of doing the same thing, so please continue to do so. There we go, and, well, we've got, what, 3 maybe turns until they reach their destinations? Should be pretty fun, big old battles for them to fight. Who's up next? TA Talent Agent, Azgorh, we just moved. Corpsec, we have been moving you lately. Well, I guess we can move all of these guys. Alright, so, Zatan, you're gonna go after Zardrak the Black here. Yes. And he will obviously run, but who knows, maybe with several armies here we would... be attacked by all of them together? Who knows? Although Zatan probably, yeah, he can't move any further. Alright, fine, you can just sit here and chat a little bit, go near to Krukazgrun, and we will see whether these guys all decide to attack us together. Out here, we are probably safe, so we can go to Gorolgriz. So let's see if you guys can reach it. We'll send them together just so that we can auto-resolve it, because, yeah. Anyway, you, sir, go here. We'll reinforce with all the armies because there's nobody really needed to protect this area. I do want to make sure that we capture the entirety of the crater around Jarnagrund. Oh man, I can't zoom in. I can't tell what that is. Are those windows that built into the sides of the crater? Yeah, I think they're windows. Yeah, we can see the little structures here. All right, awesome. Every time you look out here, there's another lovely little detail, like the little collapsed stuff in the crater here. Fantastic. Fantastic modding work. Anyway, let's go here and let's have Telalaz Groby Nutter. Why are there so many Groby Nutters? Join this army. Libetash's, I think. Pretty sure, like 90% sure. Yeah, okay, that's where you're supposed to be. And then you can reinforce this as well. I'm sure many a goblin or orc laborer will be destroyed by this, but that's fine, that's what it's for. Auto-resolve. And, oh, actually, we barely lost anything. Well, I guess they had barely any defenses in the first place, so that's fine. I believe this place was actually going to be factories, one of the few new territories that was going to be taken as factories rather than as new outposts. Scroll of Blast, Sword of Battle. Don't need that Scroll of Blast. We'll hopefully turn into something useful. In fact, let's check right now. Yes, 2 Scrolls of Blast, and yes, technically they do give us a fire ability, but yeah, we have better stuff. And hey, Helm of Discord, that is much better. Anything else down here that we can turn into something more useful? Sword of Battle and Sword of Striking, and to fuse to Armor of the Forge. Not bad, I've been giving these to the I believe the armors of the forge were going to all of the various casters, yeah. So that's another caster with a new armor. And the rest of this stuff, I think, is mostly okay. Dragon Helm isn't useful, but I think there's nothing to transform or fuse with it. Alright, that's fine then. We'll leave it alone until we get more items. Good. And you guys just sort of sit around here. I assume this guy can't reach you anyway. But even if he could, I don't think he would, so... Alright, and we'll need you guys to help conquer some of these Orky territories, because while I'm sure Zatan can do it himself, it would take a long time to just go between all those territories. After all, there is a lot of travel distance. Anyway, who is up next after this? Luktas Syndranas. Alright, so you two. We're going to have Kurf Damatash take Slave Slaughter here. And Luktas, you're supposed to go up here to another Golgi monument. Another? I assume that means there's a first one. Hey, an Oath of Contempt. Very, very nice find, Mr. Kurf Damatash. I don't know which army we will give this to, but it is a very solid find. Go for outposts here. And repair the outpost. Good. And we are already accepting labor. Did you grab that Oath of Contempt for yourself? You did. Actually, you know what? Maybe this is a solid army to keep this. The best armies for these types of things would be Death Star armies. You know what? It would also be really nice on Zatan's army because of all the Skullcrackers traveling together. And frankly, it would also be really nice in our Skaven adjacent Kuntij and various Skullcrackers army as well. Yeah, maybe we'll do one of those. Anyway, we could use some more of those. Physical resistance is quite nice. Anyway, getting distracted. Still having a lot of fun sort of thinking up what to do with our armies. Anyway, you're going to go here and you're going to jump to the monument here. Middle Manager Stormbreaker, by the looks of it. Okay, so I can't see who's at this camp, but it has to be... It has to be Greasy, yeah. But he's running from us because he can't fight us. Oh, he might move down here to Glowing Crater then. That's interesting. If kind of annoying. Maybe we'll send Kurf Damatash after him. Somebody has to catch him or he's just going to keep being annoying. Do we want to attack this? We could try to besiege it unless... Wait, let me just see here. There is the option of, are these guys still at war with each other? They are, darn. If they weren't at war, we might have been able to get them to attack us together. Maybe if we auto-resolve this and take sufficient damage, Goldtooth will be willing to attack us? Let's go to try. Yeah, let's go to try. Auto-resolve, that'll hurt us and give us a free banner of Eternal Flame. We will occupy this tower. And then we will sit outside it in the hopes of... Do we want this? No, we don't want this. Not in this army at any rate. Well, you do have the Demonsmith Sorcerer of Hushut, so if we change this to fire damage, it could actually potentially work. I'll think about it, maybe. Bale Taurus for this guy. That's an interesting question as well. Okay, we'll Masterful Architects on you. We will get out of the settlement in case these besiege us, and then we'll just sit out here. Alright, and then we'll obviously delete the Hobgob camp as well. Bale Taurus. I think you will once again stand the Lamasu rather than the Bale Taurus, at least for now. Once again, I do like the ability to summon the additional units, even if the Lamasu can't kill blobs of enemies in the same manner that the Bale Taurus can. Probably still worth it. Vrogny Unzilad, you're still waiting for the other Laborer army, which is going to be a little bit of a distance away, so just stay here, raid, get a little bit of extra cash for yourselves. What is this troop train? Oh, you're just waiting for units to be constructed, that's fine. Or recruited, rather. Tecton Azagor, you are going to quickly wipe out Drinadrina's camp. Like so, the quick little auto-resolve, and ooh, right, you are one of the ones that has the Oath of Contempt, which is appropriate. We'll save the Razor's Standard for another Lord. Who should have what? Alright, let's put the Oath of Contempt on you, because you should be in the center of everything. And maybe on you? If we put these guys on foot, they'll be in the center of everything as well, and then this is going to go to the Immortals once we have them. Auto-resolve, delete this camp. I do wonder if there are other camps hidden somewhere where we can't see. The annoying aspect of this, of course, is the fact that, well, we're probably not going to find them, just due to the distances involved. Anyway, you, sir... I guess we'll go to Agrel Migdal, so stay right here at the edge of our territory, channel for one turn, and allow Mulliganar Startaker to catch up. And then you two together will... What if this guy gets attacked? Wait, he should probably channel then, just in case. And if the other guy gets reinforcement... Yeah, alright. Alright, let's keep going. Who else is next? Frogneys, we've moved. Frogneys, there's only one. Well, actually, no, there are multiple Frogneys, but, you know, we don't need to move the others. And I think that might be it. Alright, that might be it, which means we'll skip. Siege equipment, yes. Outpost available, no, we don't have the money. I mean, not really. And next turn, next turn I believe we will have Total War up and running, meaning maximum Hellforge Forgecraft options increase to their max, meaning we can max out our Manufactory. Lovely, let's end the turn and head towards it. Alrighty, and it looks like the Kislevites will indeed sally out. Hardly surprising. They have, a lot of gunners in this particular garrison. We got tons and tons of Streltsy and armored Kossars, so lots of armor-piercing units. And, an SFO, it looks like the armored Kossars have a directional shield as well. Not relevant to us and our Bull Centaurs, but still pretty interesting. Anyway, Astrogoth, looks like you have another fight on your hands. Go for it, buddy. Alright, Astrogoth is moving in as usual in front of the rest of the army. Robolegs are booking it forward with his massive 75 speed and Strider, as well as Wayfarer. So he'll be in the fight long before the rest of the Bull Centaurs do get there. Looks like interesting. The enemy army decided not to blob up near where their reinforcements are coming in, which is they would usually do in a defensive battle, but since they're attacking us or sallying out, and by the looks of it, they will attack us directly in a big old line across the entirety of the battlefield, essentially from edge to edge, which is somewhat unusual here, but should be pretty interesting. Anyway, now we have two sort of distinct blobs of Bull Centaurs. Here are the center sort of Bull Centaurs of our army. That's the shielded ones and the anti-large ones to deal with the enemy cav that's running around here, and I guess the things in the woods. As well, we have the dual axe variant, which we're hiding in this blob of trees, copse of trees, whatever, and we'll be heading to obliterate the enemy's flank with possibly a little bit of help from the Hobgob Sneaky Gits, which are in the center of our formation. That's about it. We have Astrogoth, who has found the enemy Druzhina Lord, and it's a Druzhina. Okay, the enemy Lord has absolutely no chance here. Even if Astrogoth wasn't a solid melee fighter, this would still be ugly fight with the enemy Lord being a Druzhina. Anyway, looks like the Bull Centaur renders of our main line have made it into the very... Oh, nice swing with that great axe. Like he decapitated two of the enemy Kossars in a single blow. And yeah, he sends those heads flying, or torsos flying, as well as looks like somebody got bisected as well. Anyway, looks like our Bull Centaurs are having fun. We're giving them buffs and giving the enemies debuffs. We got Ash Storm down. We got the Flaming Sword of Ruin, and giving them fire damage and buffing it up, especially in the Ash Storm. And the Kossars and the Streltsy alike are going to have a very, very bad day here. Oh, it does look like the enemy does have a Boyar attempting to hold us back here. He might be able to get a few kills if we are not careful, and we'll need to react to him by sending a Bull Centaur Torek to deal with it. It looks like one of our units of Bull Centaur renders onto Drazhoath on the flank here. On the left flank are the ones taking the most damage right now, so we're reacting to that by giving them Reforge and Cascading Fire Cloak to massively increase their melee defense and recover at least some of their HP. This is hardly surprising, as the flanking position is the most most dangerous, generally speaking. So, we certainly expected it. Over in the sort of real map center line, we got a bunch of hobgobs facing off against Kossar and Streltsy alike, and well, they'll probably have a pretty bad time against the Kossars. The Streltsy don't have much of a chance in melee, hybrid units or not. And besides, over on the left flank, the twin axe variant of Bull Centaur renders are absolutely obliterating those poor infantry units. The heavy armor of the Kossar is useless against those big old armor-piercing axes of the Bull Centaur renders, and as soon as this portion of the enemy line collapses, we'll simply move in to help the struggling hobgobs, some of which are down to about half HP. Stand firm, say the Streltsy. Well, good luck with that. The Bull Center's like, what'd you just say? And smashes right into the center of the enemy formation, which is not going to look like a formation for too much longer. There we go, and let's see. Well, the Streltsy kept taking a few hits. This is only a single unit of the Bull Centaur renders, and it looks like the Streltsy are attempting to book it on out of there and join their melee friends. By the looks of it, who are starting to get overrun by the hobgobs, even before the Bull Centaur renders arrive to help out. The bounce power has shifted to about 70% in our favor. I believe Ostrogoth has defeated the enemy lord. Nice rear charge from the enemy winged lancers here, but unfortunately, rear charges into the Bull Centaur renders really aren't going to be nearly as effective as they might be against other units. We also have our sorcerer, our demon smith rather, upon a bull, or not a bull centaur, upon a Baal Taurus, which felt more lawfully appropriate for this particular army than the Lamasu piles did. Ooh, looks like one of our Tauruks did get surrounded, briefly admittedly, by the winged lancers before the lancers booked it on out of there as well, and by the looks of it, the chain route is in fact here. Everybody is in by our blood, even those enemies that are still at full HP, so just a matter of waiting out the time. Very, very nice. The entire enemy army is in the process of shattering. And by the looks of it, with the exception of that one unit of Bull Centaur renders, which was heavily surrounded on the flank, and obviously the hobgobs, which lost half HP or more, our army did pretty darn well. Oh, looks like Ostrogoth has found yet another lord or hero to kill off. He's got, I don't know, 3 or 4 in this particular battle. And that's obviously... I'm running around. He's unfortunately a little bit too fast to go after heroes on foot like this, especially in the Ash Storm. 7 speed, yeah, that's not, you're not getting away. Well, actually, funnily enough, probably are getting away because Ostrogoth is so fast he'll just run around in circles like this rather than managing to land a hit. It's always been something of a bizarre aspect to the, to chasing down footlords, in that they're more difficult to bring down when they're escaping than units on mounts. Like, look at this. He can't land a single hit. This is silly. This is downright silly. It doesn't matter in any way because, even if the unit survives, it's not going to make any kind of difference, but it nonetheless is silly. Either way, a lovely fight for the Bull Centaur renders and a heroic victory for Ostrogoth. Not taking him out of exile, however. All right, very, very nice work, and not surprisingly, the enemy is, well, the armored Kossars are very solid units, but they are also quite fragile, a lot more fragile than their armor and stats would make you believe, so they were not going to have a great time. Once charged by all the Bull Centaur renders. Speaking of the Bull Centaur renders, at 287 kills versus 334,000 damage, renders into Drazhoath and the real cowboys took home the prize there. Very good job to them. We will also, significant amount of labor, we will obviously take that. Losses were minimal, otherwise, outside of the hobgoblin sneaky gets. And then we'll hopefully take the place next turn. Non-aggression pact? No. I don't know who you are, but we may or may not do that. Who are you? A non-aggression pact with Agents of the Moon. Now, you have some issues with the... I'm gonna say no, simply because we might have to attack you if we get dragged into it by our ball. Which would be annoying because we're not really protecting our coastline right now, which is might be an issue. But anyway, as I was starting to say, when we first got that Bull Centaur Render army, it was suffering a lot more casualties for obvious reasons, in the sense that a lot of units were dying. We were down to half HP a lot of the time, but now we have 3 units with Reforge available to heal them, especially now that we have the Manufactory thing, giving them the ability to reforge them. And no respect with you. And also the regeneration on those guys, they have gotten so much stronger. Dolgan, okay, everybody wants to be in an alliance of some kind. But a lot of the Chaos and Norscan factions are still fighting each other, which is why we have to be very careful as to who we choose there. And oh wow, they will attack. Go figure. Valiant defeat, you say? Oh, game. I don't think so. I really don't think so. Once again, you underestimate Zatan and his trains, but you know what? I actually really like the fact that the game seems to be underestimating the train army. It makes it so that the AI is actually willing to attempt to attack it rather than constantly run away from it, which is a good sign for Zatan as he continues in this campaign. And it should be pretty fun. Also, just kind of random, but I really love Zatan's sort of color scheme. It's all very brightly colored and stuff like that. The blue, the red, the orange, the yellow, the sort of old art type, old art style for the Chaos Dwarfs. Fantastic. I love it. Not as drab as everybody else. Like, for example, this guy who's looking pretty drab by comparison. Anyway, Valiant defeat, casualties high. We'll see. Alrighty, here we go. Zatan's army, perhaps somewhat unnecessarily strong, at least to some degree, in the sense of the machines being very strong, but the Auto Resolve does correctly recognize that the Skullcrackers and Iron Demons, at least, are relatively low tier, and won't make a crazy amount of difference. After all, we saw the 2 Iron Demons that were in our other army for a long time. In our Chaos Dwarf Warrior, just general sort of army, and they never made a crazy difference. Anyway, Iron Demons are going to move forward, filing their cannonades as they do, and of course the bombardment from our big old artillery battery here and does continue. Massive amounts of damage increases on all of our units here. Magma cannons up to 722 missile strength with the Infernal Engineer, Flaming Sword of Ruin, and Black Powder aplenty pumping up those numbers. Absolutely fantastic. And out here, our Skullcrackers, though we have seen them work before, are working on the enemy again. Just riding right through their lines, and I'm sure dishing out tons and tons of damage. With, of course, the Skullcracker train leading them. We only need 2 trains here to cause enough damage. And oh wow, the 3 of the Skullcracker pushed one of the enemy magma cannons. Oh, Death Shrieker rockets, rather, back. Well, I don't think we're going to steal that one, but not like it matters all that much. Enemy army is, by the looks of it, by and large destroyed. The enemy lord pretty much defeated by the Death Shriekers, which are sniping said lord from the sky. And I don't think you're getting away. That bull is just too slow, my friend, and down you shall go. Man, the bull out of the bull center, the Bale Tauruses and Great Tauruses are just so extra in the way that they collapse when they die. all those I don't know, fancy moves up in the sky. Anyway, it looks like this first enemy stack is by and large destroyed in the same way that the Death Shriekers took down and the enemy lord. They'll now be focusing down. And these 2 Infernal Castellans, who are running around in opposite directions, trying to figure out which way that they could possibly go. Our train and our demon engines, however, or our trains, as the other ones are mimicking these same moves on the other side, are now moving towards the second newly arriving enemy force, which will, however, be taking artillery bombardment as they move towards us. In this particular battle, we did deploy in the very center of the map, Vanguard deploying all of our artillery pieces to allow us to fire first at the first enemy army and then turn right back and fire at the second army. And the plan was to do so without hopefully getting pincered, which by the looks of it we did manage to pull off. There we go, and those guys will be getting to us for a while. Zatan has taken some damage, as we can see. He's lost about 30% of his HP. He spent a lot of the battle dueling an enemy Toruk, and is now going to go after the enemy Lord here as well. And by the looks of it, an enemy Great Taurus will attempt to back up the Bale Taurus. Oh, and we have all three types of flyers here. Great Taurus, Bale Taurus, and Lamasu, although of course the Rider will probably make this particular fight. I'm going to pop that armor of Gazrak up to ensure that we don't take too much damage here. 76 ward save on Zatan as long as that's up, which he certainly needs as his regen is relatively minimal, but by the looks of it, it's more than enough to deal with this first lord. Here come the Skullcrackers and the Iron Demons. This is looking like it's going to be pretty ugly for the enemy army. Carronades will fire away. The artillery continues to drop down from the sky. Skullcrackers move. Wrath of Jar will come down. Looks like a little bit of a collision between a couple of our units, but it hardly matters. This poor army. And there's a lot of hobgobs, and, well, I guess there are a decent bit of Chaos Dwarf Warriors here, but this is still an absolutely brutal charge of machinery into a infantry-heavy army. The single unit of Bull Centaur Renders does manage to attempt to block us off a little bit using their mass, but it looks like they will be brought down in decent numbers by the Skullcrackers, and in fact the entire enemy army will collapse and shatter. As they have started to run, that means we can start using our abilities, which means we'll summon the Kadai Fireborn to help them block the enemy off. And an absolutely brutal defeat for this little Chaos Dwarfen faction. Guess they should have had Confederation available to them. Now only the Bull Centaur Renders really remain. We're going to tell all of our artillery pieces to fire upon them, mostly because I'm curious as to how much damage we have to bring to bear with our non-Death Shrieker artillery. And as we can see, they take a lot of shots. And that's also with the Fate of Biuna on them, heavily damaging them further, and we also even had Spirit Leech on them for a little bit of while. And just curious how tanky these guys are in terms of if we were to get a bit of a taste of our own medicine. Yeah, this is a lot of artillery fire into this unit. And I don't even know whether it's the Fate of Biuna or whether it's the artillery doing more damage like this. Once again, though, we could have much more quickly brought these guys down if we were to fire these things, the Death Shriekers, the Demolisher rockets, as they're a lot better at this sort of thing, as we've seen them obliterate trolls and such previously. There we go. That's much better than the magma cannons and hell cannons, which are for infantry blobs. Anyway, a lovely little fight for Zatan. Actually, a really nice map as well. The sort of lots and lots of, I don't know what to call these frickin' things, these little plateaus that are all over the map makes it for a very interesting battle map. I would love to fight on this one again, and sort of this central line allowed us to park our artillery there and move our Iron Demons there, but being able to sort of drive around like this on all the other parts of their Skullcrackers was really fun as well. Anyway, great job, Zatan. Alrighty, very nice, and probably pretty darn horrifying for the enemy army, but hardly surprising. 569 kills versus 436. It looks like the Earthshaker just managed to beat out the World Trembler here in terms of kills and damage, and that is the Iron Demon train as opposed to the Skullcracker train. Though this thing is rank 7, so that might be contributing to it to some degree. Anyway, lots and lots of labor for that one, and that is certainly something we'll want to take. No kills on Zatan, though he did manage to do 13k damage by dueling enemy lords and heroes. I guess they were able to get away, or otherwise were kills stolen from him. Ooh, lots of damage on this Skullcracker. 22k damage, just another 22k, solid. Looks like while the Iron Demon train defeated the Skullcracker train, by and large the Skullcracker's damage outdid the Iron Demon's damage. So good for them. Anyway, transport captives. Oh, lovely. I'm still very impressed by the fact that that little faction actually decided to attack us. Good for them. Anyway, musterer for Jar Logistics, that's appropriate. Competent protector for Ostrogoth. Leadership when defending. Huh. Okay, that's one I rarely if ever see because, well, I guess you rarely if ever defend. Confederation, ooh, Grimgor's Ardboys just got another faction in the fold. That's interesting. Kurun is a regional power. That's pretty interesting as well. Ally mission successful. Good, very good. Alrighty, let's take a quick look at those missions, not the items. Really? What? Whoa. 8% from tariffs. I can't believe we haven't gotten any of those earlier. Game, come on, man. Ready for duty? Sure, that's great for you, and that's great for you. Okay, everybody's ready for duty today. Convoy completed. All right, okay, there's a lot of stuff to think about. Shield of Thorns. Oh, I guess we hadn't been there before. Interesting. That's actually quite a nice pickup. The Ring of Thorns. Okay, you're obviously not keeping that, sir, if I can find you. Did we get one or two of these? I think we got one. Okay, wait. There's so many things that we need to do now that I'm getting confused. Military convoys. All right, so who got that Ring of Thorns? Was it you? I should have checked the name. Oh, it was one of the guys that's coming back. Right. Okay, so it's you. Yes. All right, so lose that. I know where to put it. I should giggle. Better scales for you. We'll level you up while we're at it, and we'll send another convoy out somewhere, so that'll be you, I guess. Skagoeth the Black-Hearted, Admaster, and I assume that was... Oh, it wasn't Grundrakor. Alright, so we'll send you somewhere else then. Where's another relatively close place? We got armaments for labor and armaments for labor from both of these, so I guess we'll send it to one of them. Less likely to... encounter somebody we're fighting with here, I guess, in second circle, so let's do you. Second circle. Oh, but it only takes 5 turns to get here, so it's shorter. Yeah, but we're fighting everybody out here, so yeah, let's do that. We'll certainly trade the armaments for labor. Away you go, sir. Lovely. Alright, next, let's see. First of all, I guess we have techs. Now, we do have some nice upgrades. 5% hit points, 10% weapon strength, and 5% ward save for all characters faction-wide. Is there anything that's super critical, though, right now? I think we've gotten pretty much all the critical techs. You know what? We could get Hashut bound for the cooldown for the Lore of Hashut spells, and then Akshi bound for the Lore of Fire spells. We do use those quite a bit after all. I do also like the Winds of Magic Power Reserve capacity plus 20. That's solid for us. The technology tree is pretty much, we've gotten all the stuff that's good, or at least all the stuff that we really want right now, so we can ignore it for now. Yeah, I think that's the sorcery stuff that we'll go through. Alright, go through all the way to mass sacrifices. We can ignore imperishability rituals because we're not really in desert or swamp territories everywhere. And yeah, there's some good stuff there. Alright, that's decided. Next up, I wish I remembered all the stuff that we needed to do because there was a lot of stuff suddenly. You. One of you, let's say this guy. We'll lose the missile resistance. You can have the Shield of Thorns, or Ring of Thorns. We'll use you to protect the blob of units. Yes. Alright. And while we're at it, was there something else we need to give this army? Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. I don't know. I'll check back with the items later. Oh, right. The tariff thing. Let's give it to one of these guys. Doesn't really matter who. Once again, ancillaries. Where are we here? Arms merchant, was it? Yes. Alright, a little bit more trade income. And just out of curiosity. Alright, so we're still not at half of the building income, the trade income. It's pretty good at 39k, but yeah, definitely remember, I think it was Clan Scryer when I played. I remember Scryer having as much, if not more, trading income than building income, which was pretty interesting. Anyway, okay, you're going to be recruiting for a while, so we can ignore you. Manufactory, I think it's time. Yes, alright, so let's go to the Hellforge into the Manufactory and see what we can do. So first of all, we're obviously taking Enable Sundering attacks for all of the melee infantry, and then it's a choice between Glittering Scales, -5 enemy melee attack, or Frenzy, which is +10 melee attack, which is just straight up better. So we're gonna do that. I suppose we could... Nah, there's nothing here that I want to swap out. Everything else is perfect. So, we will apply and purchase. Like so. Next up, Missile Infantry. What are we missing here? Vanguard deployment is nice. We got black powder aplenty. Ooh, okay, so we'll do the suppressive fire, even though it does mean loss of shield breaker on the Infernal Guard, which is a bit unfortunate. And... it also means the loss of take cover on the Annihilator's missile resistance reduction. It's a bit of a shame, but several units, like the blunderbusses and the crawlers, don't have anything on them, so I guess suppressive fire was better than nothing, even at the cost of some stuff on some units. And then I guess we probably want to do the combination of black powder aplenty and extra reload. Vanguard deployment is also really nice, but by and large, the range units aren't... Ooh... Yeah, here's the thing. We have Vanguard deployment on our artillery, don't we? Or at least on a lot of our artillery. Or maybe it's in just certain armies. I was just thinking about the ranged army. We could, if we got the Vanguard deployment here, be able to reload everybody, or Vanguard deploy all of our range units together. You know, I'll think about it. It might not be necessary, and in some situations it's actually not that great of a thing because artillery has a long range, and... while deploying closer to the enemy is often not so great. Anyway, apply. Alright, we're still 4.3k and we got... Oh no, we might get close to 0 armaments per turn. But if it happens, it happens. We'll just have to get more... going. Monsters. What do we have missing here? So, Frenzy is the obvious pick and probably Barrier? Alternatively, well, these guys all have a very high melee attack, generally speaking. Vanguard deployment would be nice in some of these armies, but also most of the armies that these particular monsters are in, I mean not the Bull Centaur renders and stuff, probably don't necessarily want to Vanguard deploy anyway. Or at the very least don't really care about it as much. I'm inclined to say the barrier hit points and the Frenzy are probably more valuable to us specifically, even though Vanguard deployment is a very, very strong trait, don't get me wrong. It's just that we don't need it. Alright, you're good. Kadai. We don't have a lot of Kadai in the field, but we got a Kadai army up. We will have one up and running shortly. So, obviously, is Perfect Vigor. And while I do love the Forge Fire debuff, and Devastating Flank or Missile Resistance just has to be the thing, because these guys are quite vulnerable, and it'll combine with a Missile Block chance for even more reduction. Obviously, Perfect Vigor is very, very good, especially in SFO, or in particular in SFO. And there we go, War Machines and Bull Centaurs remaining. So, War Machines. Okay, so we got some interesting options here. Extra reload would allow them to maintain black powder aplenty longer, which is obviously very good. Immunity to contact effects, which would be very solid on our melee units, but it doesn't offer anything else. Blazing Body is physical resistance up to 20%. Yeah, okay, we have to take Blazing Body because it's too good not to. And then it's either immunity to contact effects, which would do nothing for the range units, though admittedly Blazing Body would do nothing for the range units either. And I guess we can't do both. By and large, these are all buffs for the melee units, so I think we'll get at least one more of these. Let's do extra reload then. Too bad we don't have 6. 6 would be ideal. Actually, there's a lot of good stuff in here. Yeah. Alright, this is what we're doing, and purchase and apply, and we're down to 2.4k per turn. Okay. And last but not least, the Bull Centaur renders. Devastating Flanker is very, very solid. Ooh, we got Blood Greed as an option, which is... I do like the unstoppable charge aspect of it. We also got Murderous Charge. Although, frankly, the additional mass that it offers may not actually be super beneficial in that it might force our Bull Centaur renders to charge through enemies, which can be kind of iffy. I'm going to say Blood Greed for the additional attack and the, I guess, immunity to psychology, because while it won't give them terror, at least it'll make them immune to terror, which is fine, plus a bunch of other stuff. And then it's either Murderous Charge... We don't really need Devastating Flanker on these guys, because we're not really using them as cav by and large. We're using them closer to a monstrous infantry in this particular run, or in our particular armies. Obviously, if we switch, then we can switch. I do like the acceleration and the charge. I mean, this is basically massive charge bonuses, but it doesn't allow us to reposition any fast or anything like that. I'm gonna say Vanguard deployment. And I will think about it. It will allow them to deploy with Ostrogoth, though I think the main issue here is that I could be wrong about this, but let me just see here. Do this for now. I think that while these guys can Vanguard deploy, our Tauruks cannot Vanguard deploy, which means they'd have to advance without their Tauruks, in which case we might not even do that. Which would be a shame. Let me just double check. The game has a really weird tendency to not give the same buffs to the heroes that it does to the units of the same type. It's quite bizarre. And yeah, you have no way to Vanguard deploy. And I assume that nothing here will give you Vanguard deployment either. Yeah, meaning Vanguard deployment is not super useful in this particular army, which is a bit of a shame. Which is a lot of a shame. And yeah, the other weird stuff is this. So all because of our manufactory upgrades, every single one of the Bull Centaur renders now have Hellforge so that they can be repaired, and the Strength from Flesh, giving them regeneration as well as Blood Greed. But our Tauruks, which are the most powerful Centaur, Bull Centaur renders, don't have any of that. They have no Vanguard deployment, they have no health regeneration, and they can't be reforged either. Which actually, why the heck do they have Living Flesh then? Living Metal Flesh. Battle healing cap plus 10%, but they have no way to heal themselves. It's a really bizarre design decision. It needs to be changed, and it's the same for pretty much all factions that have these types of units. So the bizarrity, that's a word, continues. Anyway, you guys, there we go, and then you go into this army, like so. Lovely, and I assume I didn't level you? I did not level you. Alright, just to double check, you guys all have training or no? Okay, you have 2 points in training, so we'll do 2 points for you as well. 1, 2, Tough as Nails, Temple Guardian, obviously, Stalwart Defender, Frenzy, Bulgor. I don't really care about Grotesque Mutations, at least not right now. We want to go through Survivalist. And I guess we want to get Colossal Strike as fast as we can. So let's go Hard to Hit, Foe Seeker, Scarred Vet for more HP, a little bit in the way of more armor, Colossal Strike, we got 2 points remaining. And just out of curiosity, you guys do not have Esteemed Combatant. Though we should probably, because ironically, we do keep getting attacked with this army. Only something to think about. And I mean, I guess we could start moving. Well, you know what, let's get training and then start moving through Esteemed Combatant, I guess. Flow Battle is a decent pickup as well because of the vigor loss reduction in area. Yeah. Anyway, Zomoski, you are now destroyed pretty much, so we can either raise you or just occupy you straight up. We shall see. But before we do, alright, this is one of the many things that I was trying to remember not to forget. Before we do, we want the second unit of Changebringers. There we go. Alright, pretty good. I'm wondering if I should reactivate that mod that gives us the ability to build more of these guys, but we don't even have enough Legions to build more than one right now, which is a bit of a shame. We do, potentially, let's see, we did complete a quest for the Skaven. I did want 4 Doomflayers. Oh, you need to actually lose these guys, but where are the Skaven here? Clan Molder. Doomflayers are 17. Solid. So we need, next turn we'll be able to build 2. Alright, so just wait until next turn then. And then Belsaru Hagheart will be there by that time, which will be ideal. Alright, you're looking good, and we need to get the main stack that will be using those guys, which is Kuntij, out here as well. Alright, and then let's start from the top. Drazhoath, you are going all the way out here, and you're going past these guys. Kuntij has just moved, and Nabua, you're following Drazhoath to fight these 3 stacks together. Hopefully they don't try to chase after Drazh, because I want Nabua to fight them. Who's up next? Astraga. Oh, right, I forgot this immediately. Now I guess we can destroy the place since we already did the recruitment thing, so auto-resolve this. And, oh, wow. Wow, half of the HP off of our Bull Centaurs. Okay. For basically nothing. And I mean, we're not really looking, well, a labor or 2.5k. I'm still inclined to say labor. I know that we're gated by this, but frankly, we won't be as soon as we reach the Relic of Grungni out here, wherever it is, for the 30% construction cost reduction, or 25%. That will do it for us. Anyway, we'll keep this place for now. I don't know whether we will actually fully keep it. We might trade it to Kairos for money and potentially other things, or we might not. But a tier 5 is still a very big sort of bargaining chip. Anyway, Astrogoth are going to leave the place because there's a decent likelihood you'll get besieged, and we'll keep the structures as they are here, because if we're just going to trade it, then that's going to stay as it is. Although I guess it is now bordering this place. It's just that Kairos has Fort Dolganier. Although I guess if we could trade it, then we will maintain contiguity, and then we could just trade this place to Kairos and these territories. Might certainly be an option. Anyway, though I don't know how long this campaign is going to last, in the sense that whether we'll go all that way, we shall see. And speaking of, likes and comments below, don't forget to leave those, as they will determine how long exactly we keep running this particular campaign for. Unfortunately, the engagement threshold is no longer being reached, so we will be going into the shorter episodes rather shortly. Well, the comments are... Well, the likes are not reaching the engagement threshold. Well, the comments are still there. You know what? While the comments are still there, I'm gonna say that it's still reaching the threshold, at least for now, for the next few episodes. Anyway, you get into this army. You are Callus, which doesn't do too much for us, but we needed somebody to command Zatan's artillery battery, which is going to be you, sir. And do we need to reinforce? We probably do. Just so that the auto-resolve doesn't say, oh, well, we're going to kill off all your machines because we feel like it. Alright, and go here. Wait until they all reach the places they need to be, and then auto-resolve it. Alright, decisive victory, good. And Gleaming Pennant and Relic Sword. Alright, don't really care for the Gleaming Pennant. We can turn the Relic Sword into something. This place is going to be a factory. Maybe I could have actually raised that. Well, actually, no, we got the factory at tier 2, so it's fine as it is. Don't need the miner's workshop, we will replace it with armaments and whatnot. You can have gold panners, and we got gold here as well, which is nice. Do the Masterful Architects, and we'll build it up after. Alright, Relic Sword, Gleaming Pennant for Zatan. Useless for his type of army, completely useless. And Helmet Discord for this guy. Good, but not for you. Armor of Fortune for Corpsec. Okay, Corpsec, you're just a follower army, you don't need anything. And then that's good. I think that's good. I guess we could chase this little army down here. Alright, let's do that. You, go out here, try to chase this little army down. We still have to kill off these Kislevites as well, just because we can, and then proceed out here. We'll probably separate into two forces because we need to hit Grimgor. And actually, speaking of Grimgor, what are you at now? Strength rank 10, pretty good. 24 settlements after the Confederation. Looks like the Ironclaw Works are doing nearly just as well as Grimgor is, so good for him. Or good for them, I guess. Good for them both. Anyway, and Drazhoath, you have moved. Anybody else got a potential fight on you or anywhere near you? Luke does. You... Okay, first of all, where did Goldtooth go now? I don't even see him anymore. Huh. Well, that's annoying. Alright, try to go this way. Where the heck did he run off to? Oh, there he is. Okay, that's getting real annoying. I wonder if he can reach Glowing Crater from here. We can reach him, but we might have to try to chase him down, unfortunately. Even though Middle Manager Stormbreaker has better things to do. You are going to the Golgi Monument, and should be easily able to destroy the place. And... is that a camp? Huh, that a camp right beside the settlement? I guess it was a ruin and they... interesting. Anyway, you're gonna go here. Like so. Alright, and then you can go after the horn. I really hope that there is just regular Golgi monument, and this one's another. We shall see. Anyway, you guys have moved. I guess Middle Manager Stormbreaker, you've no choice. The Goldtooth main stag didn't fall for the bait, but we can try to chase after them. Can't just leave them here. Plus, he has a great defeat trait for more tariffs, so why not? I think it's 20% from him? At least that would be nice. Okay, you can't quite reach him. You can, however, go into ambush stance or right beside him, and who knows? Maybe he'll fall for it. Stay in our own territory as well, or wait. Yeah, stay in this territory. We have the tower patrols. Anyway, who is up next? Do we still have anybody else to move? Vrogny and Zaled, you're still waiting. I mean, I guess in theory you could just fight with this army rather than wait for the other army. As in for the full-fledged laborer army, which is right here and following. It does need cons and another hero or two, but well, it's actually fairly close. Double check the cons though. We have Little Skinna and Devastating Flanker. Not the type of cons that would work here, but I might just build whatever. Callous, Volatile, Vindictive. Volatile, I'll have to think about that. Alright, and ooh, Overseers. I haven't checked Overseers in a couple of turns now. Bellicose, Irate. Okay, none of the ones we need, so no considered and no needful. Alright, Market Surveyor, Field Researcher, etc, etc. Let's move you. You're acting more like scouts than anything else right now, but it is what it is. Take Fractured Fang. And you don't need the Lamasu because it's going to cost us extra money. In fact, 250 extra gold per turn? It's quite a bit. And Imric is pretty much done, right? He has one territory which is about to fall, meaning Imric's last army will be commanded by Imric himself, although we'll see if he gets actually defeated. So what we want to do here is this. Grab Fractured Fang. We'll be trading it to our ball for this territory. Finally. Alright, auto-resolve this for obvious reasons. Let's give the Wailing Banner to... I don't know, this guy. Auto-resolve. And occupy as... Factory. Hopefully it doesn't really matter. And then let's see, will they trade it immediately? What's this place called? Fractured Fang. Yes, they will. Alright, beautiful. Alright, so you are going to leave the territory. I think so. And then we will trade these guys, Fractured Fang, for the completion of this place. It was Darkhold, yes, alright. So, Darkhold, Fractured Fang, and give us all your money, or 4,000 of it. Perfect, alright. They have now a complete territory, we have a complete territory, everybody is happy, although I don't know how happy the Coronates actually are. Anyway, we'll go for the Masterful Architects here at last, and we have one more turn to actually make use of it while Drazhoath is here, which is perfect. We probably will no longer need the garrison base or defenses here in general. Darkhold can be converted to a tower. I guess we could delete this and then convert it to a tower. Lovely. We've been waiting for that one for ages. Actually, a little bit surprised that there's no landmark here, considering, but anyway. Anyway, who else needs to move? Corporate Spy. You're staying here for at least another couple of turns until we get here with Nabwa. Yeah, probably 2 turns. And it should be pretty fun. Kuntaj we have moved. We want to start moving these guys on the path to Grimgor now, starting into their territory. Now, we could travel reasonably quick in march stance. Or we could raid their territory while we move. I mean, it'll probably be a few turns before we actually start on fighting Grimgor, so let's travel in raiding. Or at least one of you will travel in raiding. You can channel because this guy's magic is good, and then you're not going to get a lot of value out of your raiding anyway, so there's that to consider. Anybody else? Ooh, wait, I forgot another thing. There we go. Ally missions. Legion of Chaos haven't built up enough so that even though we have a lot of allegiance with them, we don't have a lot of stuff we can build from them. And the same with Exiles of Khorne, unfortunately. Accept the mission. Accept the mission. Clan Molder, accept the mission. Oracles of Tzeentch, I don't know who that is. Oh, yeah, okay, sure, accept the mission. There we go. Gotta not forget to do those. Alright, who's up next? Is there anybody up next, in fact? There may not be. Troop Train does not need to move because he's waiting for the recruitment to be completed. Vrogny is good, I guess. That is everybody. Alright, minus any potential recruits from here, but you're waiting to recruit Doomflayers. This is all going to Kuntaj. I think that the rest of this might be fine. Alright, so, we're going to end the turn. Yes, we have tons of money, and yes, we have raw materials, but I'm going to skip it. And just so that I can end turn now, because who knows, we might be able to get another battle going. I guess we could build the outposts, if nothing else. Build the outposts, since we have a little bit of cash for us. It's an illusion because we don't really, but yeah. Outpost, outpost, Challengers of Khorne, and then Clan Molder. I don't think they have any territory for us to take advantage of that anyway, but whatever. Alright, and I'll end the turn not doing any of the raw materials stuff because, well, frankly, it might actually be a good idea to save it until we acquire this, this relic out here. And darn, ambush foiled, Middle Manager Stormbreaker, and Great, Goldtooth is gone again. I'm getting real sick and tired of chasing this guy around, and I no longer see the camp thing. Wait, Amishwood, Wildvale, Settlement Besieged, that's us. No, it isn't. Surrender Imminent, yeah, we'll see about that. Hashud Bound, great, convoy completed. Goblin Laborers for you. Now, Goldtooth. Alright, so since he didn't set up a camp, we can't see him anymore. I assume he's out here somewhere, but, well, if he is, we can't see him. Did he go? Sorry, Stormbreaker, you've no choice. You're gonna have to look around, or continue looking around. No, he's in ambush stance, right? Huh. There's no way that he can move further than us. We have, like, a significant increase to movement range. The heck? Okay, I have no idea where he went. Well, weird, but whatever. And what can you do? You guys, while you're here, can you... you can't reach the horn. Alright, so then jump directly behind it. Oh, you can't even do that. Alright, fine, go right here. I probably should have put you into raiding stance, which we can't do anymore. Alright, fine, channel on. There's some units there that you might have to fight. What about you? Luke does. You should be able to auto-resolve this. There's presumably nothing there. Yeah, not really. Goldtooth's territories are barely defended. You will... take a little bit in the way of casualties or damage, but it's fine. And, oh, I didn't even realize this was a tower. Good, tower. Lovely, and obviously lose that and we'll deal with the, or I'll deal with the building to some degree between the episodes. I say to some degree depending on how close we are to that relic. Now, oh, where are you going? Don't you run from Nabua. Okay, wait, Nabua. You can jump out here. I was hoping to avoid these guys. There's no way that they actually try to fight Drazh, is there? They'd be crazy, too. I wanted to fight them with the Moon Howlers camp because they've got a crazy garrison there as well. Alright, so here's what we'll do. Critical... Oh, corporate spy. Come on, man. Not that we actually need the steel tech anymore, to be perfectly frank, but, well, whatever. Okay, we need to do one turn of admin right now before moving Nabua. Or you know what? Maybe I'll do that between the episodes and move Nabua after. Is anybody close enough or within range of a potential fight? First of all, Drazh, kill this. And then complete the, like, 5 missions that, or 1 mission, I guess, that we got for this. Free Trickster Shard, I guess. Take a tiny bit of healing. Less than 1%, but anyway. Trickster Shard, and then Faction Destroyed Rota of the Dawn. War Banner for Astrogoth. Not useful for his army in particular unless we give him a command train, which I'm not so sure is necessary for him. And then go after Pinforks. I'll resolve this, which will obviously hurt our both centers even more. Game. Why you do this? Heal up. Alright, Assault Expert, enemy killed in battle, Scroll of Power, get it. Now, Astrogoth, I guess you're going this way. I mean, the other option would be to attack the Black Dwarfs territories. I guess nobody else is out here. Oh, these guys fighting each other? Yeah, they are fighting each other. We would need to get another army down up here, so I think we'll wait for now. Astrogoth, you can... yeah, move. I was about to say channel, but it's not needed. Go out here towards Gregamugar camp. Yeah. And then we'll see as to whether we trade or what we trade if we do trade out of all of this stuff. Alright, anybody else potential fights? So we do have to wipe out this guy. We can send Libetosh the Grey after him, I guess. What do we have here? We got solid defenders. Wait, can we declare war on these guys? Declare war 1 turn. Okay, next turn. Perfect. That'll work for us. Zatan, I would like you to try to fight some of the Kislevites then, because you've already fought a lot of orcs. Frankly, you're going to be fighting a lot of orcs, or continue to fight a lot of orcs, so... go out here, fight some Kislevites. Alright, destroy this. This will be the other missions completed. Unless I'm mistaken. Probably should have taken the labor instead. Ally mission successful. Good. There we go. And that house is destroyed. Mission aborted. Yeah, that was never going to happen. And the item, I think, is not that good anyway, so... yeah, you stay here, channel, or maybe even raid. Yeah, go raid their territory. You raid their territory as well. For the turn... oh, wow. Decent decent increase. And then you two will move in together, and then Corpsec can stay out there because he's just there to help defend. So stay in this location. Lovely. Oh, I just realized I wonder if it would be cheaper to have Zatan here. We'll figure it out after. Anyway, let's see if there's anybody else, though I fear by the looks of it this turn there might not be anybody else that is close enough to a fight. So, I think then I'm probably going to call the episode here rather than deal with the admin. Plus, I think I'd like to save a decent amount of raw materials for us to get to this, and the massive reduction in construction costs and stuff. It is still somewhat distant, right here at Deaddraw Gap, eh? Yeah, we still have a fair ways to go up there. But yeah, we probably can't save for all of that time, so yeah, we'll probably still have to do some admin until we get there. It's all good. It's all good. Anyway, next time, Nabua will be fighting, or somebody will be fighting the massive orc stacks here, and they've got pretty good stuff. Lots of black orcs, very solid garrisons and stuff as we begin our war and with the Mooncowlers, and then start proceeding towards Grimgor as well. We also got to remember that we are quite near the other dwarfs. I'm just checking if they have any territory. Old Dwarf Road, no dwarfs there. I see Mount Gunbed. It looks like the orcs are doing quite well. Out of Krukazgrun has fallen. Krukazgrun still stands, and I do like the death blow for the Infernal Guard and Infernal Ironsworn thing. It's quite nice. And there is potential to try to go up there. We're actually closer than... yeah, well, Zatan at least is fairly close. Certainly something to think about. Oh wow, look at that. The Clan Molderskaven are spreading out quite nicely as well. Might want to declare war on the Ice Court just to get a reduction in their costs in terms of the building stuff. In fact, let's do this. You're going to take the Blood Shrines from Jar Logistics, like so. And then you are going to transfer all of these guys to the range, well, these guys to the ranged army, which maybe if we can get some skull cannons at last, but the Khornates haven't had the ability to build them. Any of the Khornates haven't had the ability to build them. In fact, let's just double check. Nope. Still just Blood Shrines and Soul Grinders. I mean, I guess we could build some Soul Grinders, but they don't add too much to us. What about Exiles? Have you gotten... nope, they also can't build their skull cannons yet. Come on, guys, what is this? Tech better. But anyway, Molder. We do know that Molder can build more of the Doomflayers for us, so that's what we'll do. That'll combine nicely with those Skull Crackers as a theme for Kuntish's army. Anyway, as I said, I'm going to call the episode here. Next time, we've got more fights. These Kislevites, the orcs, down south as we continue to move towards the World's Edge Mountains. Stay tuned for more. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below as they will determine how long we keep running this particular campaign for. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.